The American dream suggested that prosperity, success, and upward social mobility could be achieved through hard work in a society with very few barriers. This worldview is shifting now, though. Today, many people feel that the spirit of the American dream has been derailed. The materialistic values of the 20th century are not relatable in today's connected economy. Today, there's a strong desire for people to make purposeful and positive changes in the community and in the world. And as a result, they're searching for careers that will empower them to make impacts. To begin our research, we've focused heavily on what the definition is of the American dream from the perspective of a group of millennials from universities and colleges in New Brunswick. What is the definition of the American dream?
Definition of the American dream. White picket fence.
The American dream is a hidden path to unhappiness.
I think it's total bullshit. I think it's a marketing invention.
2.2 kids, big house. It's money, 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 money.
Material based.
It's really a fib because there's institutionalized racism and unequal education.
You're stepping all over each other just to get a little bit further ahead.
The American dream worldview is going through a bit of a transformation today. Our motivations, aspirations, and goals that we valued in the 21st century are shifting. We're going from what was a me economy to a we economy. The new dream, or the millennial dream, has values that are rooted in community, purpose, and impact. In the fall of 2014, the student ambassadors from the Pont de Sponde Center were challenged to explore what the millennial dream is and how purpose-filled careers, entrepreneurship, and the triple bottom line economy fits within it.
The millennial dream, as I see it now, is more about equality.
Having that feeling that I have done something good.
Creating a better world, a healthier world.
Something that makes you excited to go to work every day.
Making people happy and helping them reach their dreams.
The Student Ambassador Program connects young change makers together with mentors and thought leaders to encourage them to start making the changes that they want to see in the world. Their first experience together is on a bus trip to Boston, where they will see firsthand the power of a startup ecosystem that has a heavy focus on social entrepreneurship. The group really got to know each other on the 8-hour drive from Fredericton, New Brunswick to Boston. After arriving in Boston, the students got to meet Desh Deshpande and Jerry Pond, the co-founders of the Pont de Sponde Center in New Brunswick.
A lot of these young people are really motivated by making a difference. We're all wired to solve problems. Every human being is wired to solve problems and puzzles. And there is a choice to be made. Either you choose to solve your own problems or you choose to solve somebody else's problems. I think the millennial dream is to be more and more global. So the way you solve some of the local problems, let's say in Fredericton and St. John, probably will have a lot to do with the way people are solving problems in India or Uganda. So I think this global perspective of the millennials, not only to help people all over the world, but to also do better in their own community is very important.
I think it's an awareness of the power of the entrepreneurial model to do more than just make money for people. It essentially creates structures and passion, because it's not just about structure or money, it's about passion that accomplishes goals. So you don't accept second best, third best. You want to be the best. So you're going to solve these issues absolutely, not just maybe. And that determination and perseverance that you get from an entrepreneurial model, or a person, if you will, is a powerful way to solve social problems.
The next stop was to meet the folks at E4All in Lowell, Lawrence, Massachusetts. This organization helps some of the most vulnerable people in these communities get onto their feet by successfully growing social enterprises. One of the businesses E4All supports is Mill City Grows.
Mill City Grows is a nonprofit that focuses on food access. So they wanted to create a social enterprise within their nonprofit that could help them bring money to the organization. So their vision was an urban farm. So we're literally standing in the middle of a farm, in the middle of a mill complex in a neighborhood where they're literally growing tons of food, kale, lettuce, tomatoes, and they're selling it at farmers markets all across the city. One thing that we embed in all of our programming is for all of our business and nonprofits to think about their social impact. And whether you're developing a gaming company or, a manufacturing company, what's your social impact? How do you support the community? And I think millennials in particular always think about that already, and they're really excited about that. And they've seen, a lot of changes over the past decade, and they really want to help contribute to kind of the positive movement forward.
Boston has such a thriving startup and social venture scene. How did it get to where it is right now? Are there things that the community in New Brunswick and Atlantic Canada can do to create a similar culture of investment, mentorship, and incubation?
In the greater Boston area, there's cadres of really talented and skilled professionals. There's an enormous amount of wealth creation among those who benefited from that growth in the 90s. So there's angel investment as a real opportunity. There's interest in solving problems without turning to government. The city government of the city of Boston has been incredibly cooperative to foster innovation because they've seen what's happened on the larger scale. Parallel to this has been the social enterprise movement. So out of that have become novel nonprofits, benefit corporations that make a business model but intend to do a social impact as well, overseas and the United States. And it's truly one of these very, very exciting times in the region.
Work environments are changing rapidly. The workspace of the future is open and interactive. Co-working spaces, incubators, and makerspaces are popping up all over the world, attracting new economy entrepreneurs to work and collaborate in. Boston's Artisans Asylum is a shared work and makerspace attracting innovators, artists, and entrepreneurs.
We're a 40,000 square foot warehouse facility with 10 different shared shop and co-working spaces and 150 individual studios. People are trying to find ways to make things that don't necessarily involve a kind of depersonalized assembly line industrial process. And there's a market of people who are starting to be willing to pay for that kind of specialized, personalized process. There should be a makerspace in every city in town the way there's a library in every city in town, because it's a resource and because it's a gathering place.
The output of a healthy ecosystem is successful startups. The group got to meet a ton of entrepreneurs on this trip, all supported by a community committed to changing the world using innovation and entrepreneurship. A demo day was happening at an incubator space called Greentown Labs when we arrived. One of the incubator companies is a small aquaponics company called Grove, which is helping urban residents grow their own food.
I came across this technique called aquaponics, and aquaponics is where you grow food using fish. So fish waste is converted by bacteria into organic fertilizer, which is pumped up to the plants. The plants clean the water, it goes back clean to the fish, and you're basically creating a closed-loop ecosystem to grow your own food.
People are becoming more aware of how unsustainable traditional agriculture is, and they're becoming more aware of what they're actually eating and how that's impacting how they feel and even how long they live. So I think we're just at a moment here where it starts to make sense to try to take some of that power back into your own hands. What am I actually producing? What am I actually consuming?
As millennials, I think we're very aware of all the problems that are going around, on around us, all the problems caused by generations before us, by the Industrial Revolution. And I think part of the millennial dream is to make an impact, to make positive change on these problems that we've sort of put on ourselves over the past 50 to 100 years.
I think the millennial dream is a sort of a combination, a meshing together of what we want in terms of convenience and comfort and modern amenities, but going back to the roots and doing things in a sustainable way that we can pass on for generations and generations. We're now aware that we can't just focus on convenience and comfort. We've got to do things. We've got to do things the right way. We've got to do things sometimes the harder way. The good thing is we have technology to help us.
After 3 days of touring the Boston Sandbox, we got back onto the bus and shared inspirations and takeaways.
If anything is the millennial dream, it's doing something you love and not just doing something that'll make you rich.
The millennial dream is being able to keep your soul, your individual self happy and motivated about what you're doing. It's quite different from the American dream where you have to stick to the status quo.
And I really realized with this week that it is possible to have a social venture and not only a business for profit. those fields of social impact and environment, those are the happening fields, and that's why they're getting so much traction now. So if we try to produce an environment in New Brunswick that helps to foster those in a more concrete way, we'll be able to attract those other people from around Canada, from around the world, and they want to work with us.
We need to be the ones that are making a change, or nobody else is going to do it.
The student ambassadors came home with an energy that can move mountains. When we look at developing New Brunswick as a millennial dream place to live, we need to be proactive and absorb as much as we can from other areas in the world who are doing it right. My perspective is that Boston is a millennial dream city because they embrace innovation and social entrepreneurship, and they have stories to share. They also have a community of people willing to help startups get on their feet. The good news is that New Brunswick is taking a leadership role in the millennial dream. Anyone from all backgrounds, all walks of life, and all generations have a role to play in the millennial dream. Come join us. The New Brunswick Millennial Dream Movement is accelerating.